Chosen one, lock your attention on what I'm about to say and do not let it go for even 1 second. That feeling you have been carrying this week, that quiet, almost embarrassing awareness that you think differently than the people around you, stop pushing it down. The enemy is working overtime right now for one reason and one reason only. He knows that once you understand what I am about to show you, the ceiling he has placed over your influence shatters completely. It all shifts in the next few minutes. The confusion about why you have never quite fit, the exhaustion of pretending to think slower than you actually do, the loneliness of being in a room full of people and still feeling like you are operating on a frequency no one else can hear. But here is the part you need to receive right now. None of that was rejection. All of it was evidence. Think back to that moment this week when you were in a conversation and you already saw where it was going 3 steps before anyone else did. Maybe you stayed quiet. Maybe you let someone else arrive at the conclusion you had reached minutes ago and you said nothing. You probably walked away feeling invisible. You did not know it then, but that restraint, that silence, that decision not to perform your intelligence for the room, that was the exact behavior that has an entire group of people whispering your name in private. You did not find this message by accident. The algorithm did not bring you here. Something far more precise than code did. This is a divine appointment, and it was scheduled long before today. Stay until the very last second, because in the next few minutes I am going to reveal the shocking reason a large and specific group of people has already identified you as extraordinarily intelligent, and they have never once told you directly. I am going to show you the one behavior, practiced by only the top fraction of a % of people, that signals a level of intelligence so rare it makes others lower their voice when they speak your name. And at the end, I am going to hand you the declaration that locks this identity in permanently, so the enemy cannot steal it with one more whisper of self-doubt. Do not click away. Your future self is on the other side of the next few minutes, and if you leave now, you leave without the one piece of understanding that reframes everything you have been told about yourself. I know what the last 72 hours have felt like. The atmosphere around you has not just been quiet, it has been pressing, like something is about to be revealed, but it has not broken through yet. Maybe you were sitting alone this week, replaying a conversation where you said something and watched the people around you pause in a way they could not explain. Or maybe you have been carrying a low hum of frustration because you can see solutions to problems that others are still arguing about the existence of. You feel the gap. You feel it in meetings, in friendships, in family dinners, where the conversation stays so shallow, you have to remind yourself to stay present. You feel like you are waiting, not for opportunity. You have seen opportunity. You are waiting for someone to finally see what you carry and call it by its correct name. And in that waiting, the enemy has been planting a very specific lie. Listen to your own thoughts this week. He has been telling you that the reason you feel unseen is because something is wrong with you. He has been replaying that moment when you spoke up and the room went quiet, or that moment when you held back and felt like a coward for it. He has been telling you that your sensitivity, your tendency to observe before speaking, your refusal to perform in rooms that do not deserve your full presence, he has been telling you that is weakness. That is social failure. That is why you are overlooked. But I need you to hear what the truth actually says about this moment. Proverbs 17:28 says, "Even a fool when he holds his peace is counted wise, and he that shuts his lips is esteemed a man of understanding." Listen to what that promise is actually saying. The act of restraint itself, the choice to be silent when others perform, to observe when others react, to hold your conclusion while the room catches up, that act alone is being read by the most discerning people around you as a signature of rare intelligence. They are not ignoring you, they are studying you. And what they are finding is making them lower their voice when they say your name. The enemy wants you to believe the silence means absence. But the silence is the signal. You are not invisible. You are rare. The exhaustion you have been feeling is not the weight of being overlooked. It is the weight of carrying a level of perception that most people never develop in a lifetime. It is not punishment, it is distinction. You did not fall behind. You were never in that race. You are not waiting to be discovered. You are already being discussed. There is a reason that only a fraction of people on this earth carry the kind of mind you carry. It's not a cosmic accident, nor is it a matter of mere luck or a life that has been miraculously smooth. Instead, it's the indelible mark of a spirit forged in the crucible of intense experience, shaped by relentless fires of challenge, deepened by profound silences, and refined through seasons that, to the uninitiated eye, might have appeared as nothing more than outright failure or profound abandonment. Yet, those who possess a genuine spiritual antenna, those attuned to the subtle currents of divine purpose, could perceive it. They saw it even when you yourself could not articulate or even fully grasp it. That quiet, almost imperceptible recognition in the eyes of another, that hushed acknowledgement, that glance exchanged when you speak a truth that resonates. This is not the shallow envy of others disguised as admiration. It is something infinitely more profound. It is the divine principle of discernment, recognizing its own reflection in destiny's grand design. It is the very spirit within others, echoing and bearing witness to the unmistakable spirit that resides and operates within you. But here is a crucial truth that escapes the vast majority of people. True intelligence, the kind that possesses this rare caliber, is not primarily an academic pursuit. It is not quantifiable by the degrees you've earned or the textbooks you've devoured. Its true measure lies in the depth to which you have learned to perceive, to see beyond the veil of the ordinary. This profound capacity for seeing is not a skill cultivated through extensive reading or formal study alone. Rather, it is something etched into the very fabric of your being through the fires of suffering you did not invite, through periods of isolation you did not deserve, and through silences that, in their starkness, felt like the deafening absence of God, but were in reality divine orchestrations, strategic placements within the grand tapestry of your life. Consider the narrative of Daniel. Imagine him, a young man of exceptional spirit and intellect, suddenly cast into a foreign land, a system utterly alien to his upbringing and values. His name was likely altered, his heritage stripped away, his surroundings filled with people who could not fathom his deep-seated convictions or the spiritual clarity of his vision. Yet, remarkably, every king, every ruler who crossed his path sensed an undeniable difference within him, a profound gravitas they could not fully articulate, but instinctively recognized. The ancient scriptures reveal that it was God himself who bestowed upon Daniel extraordinary knowledge, skill, and understanding, elevating him far beyond all the wise men, magicians, and astrologers of the entire kingdom. Not 10% better, but 10 times better. This unparalleled distinction was not the result of Daniel striving for earthly accolades or attempting to outshine his peers. It was the natural outflow of a cultivated inner life, a rich spiritual ecosystem that produced an outer perception so refined, so potent, that no human system could replicate it, and no adversary could ever hope to dismantle it. And this is precisely where the revelation deepens, resonating with the core of your own journey. Those individuals who speak of your intelligence in hushed tones, those who sense that rare spark within you, are not always conveying pure admiration. Often, their whispers are laced with a palpable sense of confusion. This is because your mind operates on frequencies they cannot tune into. It navigates pathways they have never explored. You possess the extraordinary ability to connect disparate threads of information that remain invisible to others. You feel the impending weight of future events long before they manifest in the physical realm. You intuitively grasp the unspoken currents that flow beneath the surface of conversations, discerning hidden agendas and unspoken emotions. You can enter a room and, without a word being uttered, absorb its atmosphere, its underlying dynamics, its very essence. This level of perception can be profoundly disorienting to those who have never experienced such an expansive awareness. That which they cannot readily categorize, they tend to fear, albeit silently. And that which they cannot replicate, they often, in the hidden chambers of their hearts, revere. But now, I must draw your attention to a pivotal understanding, a turning point that marks the journey for so many who carry this unique spiritual blueprint, this extraordinary gift, this rare and divinely bestowed architecture of your mind, has simultaneously been your greatest asset and your most profound, often misunderstood, burden. The tragic irony is that you were never provided with a manual for navigating this gift. No one sat you down and explained, "This is the unique nature of your spirit. This is how your perceptive abilities function. This is why the world often feels overwhelmingly loud to you, a cacophony of energies and emotions. This is why you process sorrow and grief with a depth that eludes many. This is why you possess foreknowledge of events and insights into truths you were never explicitly told. You were simply sent forth to navigate a world fundamentally designed for a different kind of consciousness, carrying within you a profound capacity that most of your immediate environment simply could not contain or comprehend. And this vast chasm, the immense disconnect between the spiritual and perceptual wealth you carry within, and the limited resources available in your surroundings to support and validate it, is the fertile ground from which so much of your internal tension springs. It is the silent architect of your feelings of disconnect and displacement. What we will explore next is the hidden cost of this exceptional gift, a price tag that no one ever disclosed, and why this very cost may be the very force that has perpetuated your persistent feeling of being an outsider, perpetually out of sync with the world around you. Because here is what inevitably happens to a mind like yours when it remains in the shadows of recognition for too long. It begins to doubt its own brilliance. It starts to contract, to shrink, not because its inherent luminosity has diminished, but because sheer brilliance, when starved of affirmation within a supportive context, will eventually learn to dim its own light, simply to survive, to fit in, to avoid the friction of its own magnificence. You may have stopped raising your hand in classrooms, ceased sharing the profound insights that bubbled within. You learned the subtle art of performing normalcy, of blending into the background, when an entire universe of extraordinary potential resided within you. And the profound tragedy lies not solely in the world's failure to recognize your unique light. The true tragedy is that, over time, you began to internalize their blindness, to believe their perception of you as ordinary. This is the silent covenant that has inflicted the most profound damage. It is not the rejection from others that seals the fate of your gift. It is the agreement you forge with their rejection. It is the moment you internalize their inability to see you and conclude that perhaps what they cannot perceive does not truly exist. It is the insidious exchange where you trade your divine, innate perception for the fleeting comfort of social belonging. It is the critical juncture where you allow the deafening static of the mundane to overpower the clear, resonant frequency of your divine purpose. This agreement, this internal capitulation, does not extinguish the gift itself, for spiritual gifts from God are irrevocable, a truth unequivocally clear in sacred texts, but it effectively buries it. It entombs your inherent brilliance beneath layers of self-doubt so thick, so suffocating, that you lose all memory of the radiant treasure lying dormant beneath. And what is about to be revealed will likely astonish you, as such profound truths often do. The pathway back to reclaiming this buried brilliance does not unfold in the manner most people anticipate. It does not commence with external validation, with someone finally seeing your worth, finally bestowing upon you the promotion, the platform, the recognition you were intrinsically designed to occupy. This sacred journey begins with something far more internal, far more quiet. It commences with the profound willingness to be misunderstood, to be misperceived, without allowing that external misinterpretation to define your intrinsic reality. The Apostle Paul was a profound exemplar of this principle. Consider him, a man endowed with extraordinary intellectual acumen and spiritual depth, a meticulously trained scholar, a mystic who communed with the divine, a strategic genius. Yet, he penned his most transformative letters from the confines of a prison cell, addressing churches that wavered in their faith, individuals who questioned his divine authority, and audiences who struggled to fully grasp the transcendent magnitude of the spiritual truths he transmitted. Despite these challenges, he did not dilute the revelation. He did not diminish his own spiritual stature to make others feel more comfortable. He articulated his divine mandate at the absolute zenith of his calling, placing his unwavering trust in the assurance that those with the spiritual receptivity, those with ears to truly hear, would indeed receive and understand. This, then, is the sacred posture into which you are being divinely called. This is not about arrogance. Arrogance is merely a hollow counterfeit of this profound inner stance. Arrogance is a performance, a calculated display of intellect designed to manipulate how one is perceived. What we are speaking of is an entirely different phenomenon. It is the quiet, unshakable confidence of a soul who has moved beyond the need for external validation. It is the profound inner knowing that God's confirmation of your calling needs no ratification from the room. It is the sovereign ability to inhabit spaces and interact with individuals whose capacity cannot contain your full essence, and yet to remain entirely and authentically yourself, without harboring resentment, without shrinking, and, crucially, without engaging in the exhausting charade of presenting a lesser version of yourself. Stay with me, for what is about to unfold is the profound layer that most individuals never penetrate, and it is precisely this layer that holds the key to breaking the pervasive cycle of limitation completely. There exists a deeply ingrained habit, a subtle reflex you have been unconsciously practicing, which has been contributing far more significantly to your perceived delay than any external obstacle ever could. This habit is the profound inclination to wait for absolute certainty before taking action. You have been treating your divine intuition, your innate spiritual perception, as if it were a mere hypothesis in need of irrefutable proof before it can be acted upon. You feel the undeniable pull towards a new direction, a nascent calling, a burgeoning creative vision, or a specific divine assignment. And instead of responding with the inherent confidence of one who was divinely engineered for this very purpose, you pause. You meticulously research. You engage in relentless second-guessing. You seek confirmation from individuals who were never divinely appointed to be your source of confirmation. But here lies the divine paradox, a revelation that has the power to fundamentally alter your trajectory. The confirmation you so desperately seek is not a precursor to action. It is invariably the time's result, times of action. This is the fundamental design, the sacred order of spiritual movement. Abraham did not receive a comprehensive itinerary before he departed from Ur. He was given a single, potent instruction: go. The full unfolding of the revelation accompanied him with every single step he took. The extraordinary intelligence you possess is not intended to be a mere planning instrument. It is designed to function as a divine navigational system, and navigation, by its very nature, is impossible when one remains static. It only truly activates, it only comes fully online when you begin to move. And yet, and this is where the truth becomes profoundly confrontational, so I implore you to remain present, even with this liberating understanding. A part of you will still grapple with hesitation, and I wish to explicitly name this hesitation, for it is not what you have been conveniently calling it. You have been labeling it wisdom. You have been cloaking it in the guise of discernment. You have presented it as divine patience or strategic preparation or a respectful adherence to God's perfect timing. And yes, there are moments when strategic restraint is indeed a divine virtue. But if you were to engage in absolute honesty, a radical, unvarnished truthfulness, you would realize that what you have been cultivating is not holy patience. It is a sophisticated form of fear, artfully disguised in the elegant attire of strategic planning. It is a brilliant mind, weaponizing its own exceptional brilliance to meticulously construct an unassailable rationale for why times is not the opportune moment, why the conditions are not yet perfectly aligned, why just a little more preparation is required before you can finally step fully into the destiny for which you were created. And here is a critical insight that is seldom openly discussed. A mind as capable, as brilliantly intricate as yours, possesses an almost infinite capacity to construct an airtight case for remaining precisely where you are. It can generate objections that sound remarkably like divine wisdom. It can conjure intricate timelines that feel like meticulously planned divine orchestration. It can elegantly dress up outright avoidance in the language of spiritual alignment and mischaracterize strategic delay as profound discernment. This is not a deficiency in your intelligence. It is rather the potent misuse of that intelligence, driven by the insidious influence of fear. And the moment you can truly recognize this distinction, the instant you can see it with absolute clarity, is the moment your entire reality begins to transform. But there is one final element, a foundational truth that you likely did not anticipate. It is the piece beneath all the other pieces, the bedrock of this entire struggle. The reason this journey has been so agonizingly difficult, the reason the whispers of others have proven insufficient to catalyze your movement, the reason the clarity you sometimes experience dissipates the instant you attempt to act, is not because your faith is insufficient. It is not because your spiritual gifts are not sufficiently developed. It is not, as you may suspect, simply a matter of the timing not being quite right. The fundamental reason is far deeper. You have never, at a core level, truly believed that you are allowed times to embody this magnificent potential. Buried somewhere beneath layers of conditioning and past experiences, you have harbored a deep-seated conviction that individuals like you, people with your specific history, your unique background, your past missteps, your intricate complexities do not get to walk confidently in this caliber of calling without eventually being exposed, without eventually revealing that it was all an illusion, too good to be true. This, then, is the true root of the struggle. It is not the external attacks of adversaries. It is not the voices of those who doubted you. It is not the limitations of systems that failed to perceive you. It is the hidden part of yourself that, in secret, tacitly agreed with all of them, and has been operating beneath your conscious awareness, quietly undermining and dismantling everything your spirit was endeavoring to construct. And when that fundamental agreement is finally revoked, when that root cause is addressed and dissolved, the very intelligence that others have been whispering about will cease to feel like an isolated burden. It will transform into the glorious inheritance it was always meant to be. It will manifest as the full, unadulterated expression of what you were divinely assembled to become. And the world that once spoke of you in hushed, uncertain tones will begin to actively witness your unfolding glory, not because you have finally mastered a performance of perfection, but because you have finally ceased apologizing for the exquisite, unapologetic truth of who God created you to be. Now, place your hand gently upon your heart and join me in declaring this truth with all the conviction of your being. I release every agreement I have made with doubt. I release the pervasive lie that I am either too much or not enough. I release the grip of fear that has skillfully disguised itself as wisdom, paralyzing me at the very threshold of what I was divinely made to achieve. I declare, with unwavering certainty, that my mind is a sacred gift, not an intrinsic burden. My inherent depth is not a character defect. My profound sensitivity is not a spiritual weakness. I am not falling behind. I am not spiritually broken. I am no longer waiting to be discovered. I am actively choosing, in this very moment, to inhabit and walk in the fullness of what has already been magnificently given. I step forward with courageous resolve, unbound by the prerequisite of every door needing to be visibly open before I can move. I place my trust in the divine gift that resides within me. I anchor my faith in the one who so lovingly and purposefully placed it there. And I now walk into this unfolding season with complete abandon, unapologetically myself, and without any thought of retreat. If this message has resonated deeply within your spirit today, I urge you to share it with another soul whose brilliant light has been dimmed or buried beneath the overwhelming weight of a world that, for a time, could not contain it. They too need to hear this liberating truth. And if something within your spirit has been profoundly stirred as you have absorbed these words, please share your experience in the comments below. Know that I read every single comment, for your individual story is of immense value, and this sacred community was intentionally built for souls exactly like you.